Hello my Wolfpack and welcome to the TBL Summer League Week 3 Team Builder. So this week we are battling GoldoaDragon and the New York Empoleons. Now those of you that know Gold and the New York Empoleons and have been around on the channel for a while or have been around with the channel for a while, you will know that Gold is a fantastic battler. He is absolutely amazing. He does so much amazing stuff with his teams, and you know, this is a low tier format and I feel like Gold is really good with his low tier mons, so this is going to be scary. Now the mons he's got Gardevoir. Gardevoir automatically is a very scary mon. Chuck a Scarf on it, it can just basically destroy a large variety of Pokemon. Registeel, which has been a pain in my backside to plan for. I have had to tweak some things kind of more last minute for some calcs, and hopefully I've got some ideas on how to deal with them. Vsing, I'm really hoping it doesn't come. Honestly, I'm really hoping Vsing doesn't come because I haven't got the most amazing counters for it, and fighting type, as you can see, it just blitzes through 3 of my team. Same with ground type, it blitzes through 3 of my team as well, so, you know, not looking in the most amazing start. We've got Noctowl here. Now Noctowl isn't too scary, if I'm honest. Obviously it is a mon, it can do things, but I think the majority of my team can deal with it. Tentacruel, you know, can come in and it can sit against things like Clang, it can sit against Ryperia. Well, actually no, it can't sit against Ryperia, but it can come and do some damage, get the Scold off. Hitmonlee, it kind of walls that, so you know, there's a lot of problems that I've got with this. We've got Flygon, which Flygon, if it's Dragon Dance, is going to cause me so many issues. Even if it's Scarfed as well, can definitely cause me a lot of issue. Rapidash, which I'm not too concerned about, but at the same time, it is a threat. It can do things to me. Armaldo, which possibly could come to set up things like rocks. You know, it's a really good rock setter. It's really good turn 1 Pokemon to send out. Malamar, which again is really scary, and I haven't hugely prepped for it because it definitely could come and just superpower Contrary, and that would put me in a really bad position because I've not really got too many Pokemon that can deal with that. And then we've got Seaking, which Seaking is Lightning Rod, and you know, obviously Circuitry counter at its finest. So looking at this team, I have spent some time with T-Shem because we do it in partners. And we have gone back and forth on several different sets for several different mons, and this is kind of what I finally settled with. Now, I did make a last minute change to do Choice Scarf Circuitry. Originally we was going to do Blunder Policy Circuitry, but I just feel like I need to play it safe. I don't know, I've got a gut feeling I need to play it safer, so I don't feel like the Blunder Policy I'd be able to activate properly in this kind of set, because there are 2 mons that almost definitely come in the Seaking and in the Flygon, which are immunities to electric. So that is going to be kind of the big problem with setting that up, was my thought. So I've just gone safe with Choice Scarf. Obviously you can switch in around it, you can get some momentum from it. So there definitely is the possibility that if I click the wrong move, it can be a real big bad thing for me. But we've got Choice Scarf, we've got Beast Boost on here. I'm hoping to potentially get a late game sweep with Circuitry. Sorry, I can't talk. Thunderbolt, it hits the majority of the team for neutral damage. We've got Dazzling Gleam, which hits super effective on the Virizion. It hits super effective on the Flygon. It 2-hit KOs the Seaking unless it's like maximum special defense investment, so that can be nice. And the Volt Switch is a nice potential switch ability. Obviously, I do have to pay attention for the Seaking and the Flygon there as well, because that could definitely be a problem for me. EV wise, I've just calced so that I outspeed Gardevoir if it's Scarfed, because I definitely see that as being a Scarf mon. I don't know why, but they seem like... Hold on, let's try and change that. I think that's slightly better. I don't know, for some reason my lighting is not amazing right now. I'm gonna deal with that. Yeah, that's that. Right, so we have got Circuitry there. Sorry, just had to kind of look at that because it looked really dark, and it might be that my screen's dark. I don't know. If it's really dark, I do apologise. So second up, we've got Cofagrigus, and this is going to be, it's his debut, I think. But I think this is definitely going to work really well against his team. We've got things like Body Press, which is going to really be able to hit the Registeel quite hard. If he's Iron Defense, that does cause me some problems, but at the same time, Kefagrigus can literally wall this thing. I do have Substitute on here to stop any Toxics, because realistically, the best way of getting rid of this thing is to Toxic it. Leftovers for recoverability, Will-O-Wisp for the Flygon, for the Registeel, for the Virizion. Lots and lots of different things do not want to take a Will-O-Wisp on this team. Armaldo, for example, Malamar even. So yeah, and then the Hex combines with that really nicely to obviously do more damage. Eevee-wise, max HP, max defense. I thought that's just the best option here. He's got a few real physical threats. Even things like Rapidash can be a threat. And then we've gone for 4 EVs and special attack. Give me a little bit more power output on the Hex. Not too much, but obviously every little might matter in the game. And sometimes it does come down to a single hit point, which is always really crazy. Moving on to Tauros, we've got Tauros here with the Sheer Force Life Orb again. This thing just is designed for damage output, and EV'd it so it outspeeds the Virizion. Hopefully, what we will see is that I can chip down the Virizion a little bit beforehand, and then the Body Slam can take it out. We've got Body Slam, which just does a lot of damage to almost everything. Earthquake, which it doesn't quite 2-hit KO the Registeel if it's defensive. Now that's, and possibly even a 3-hit KO if it's like fully defense, and possibly with Iron Defense as well. So, you know, Earthquake is going to be hopefully helpful here. It hits the Registeel, it hits the Tentacruel for super effective damage, it'll hit the Rapidash, it'll hit the Armaldo for neutral damage. Now I have gone the Iron Head for Armaldo, specifically for that because I do potentially see that coming and setting up rocks. And then we've got Mega Horn to do damage to the Malamar, because that's the main thing that I have to deal with Malamar. So, you know, if he wants to try and come and get a late game sweep, that's annoying. But yeah, I think potentially he might consider bringing Trick Room. So I do need to be paying attention to that, and I have got a few mons that can potentially deal with that in this scenario. He might also bring Sticky Webs on Vikavolt, and again, we've got ways of dealing with that. So, speaking of the way of dealing with a Vikavolt, speaking of dealing with the Sticky Webs Vikavolt, we have got White Herb Hitmonlee. Now, Hitmonlee can just come in, activate his White Herb, go back to normal speed, and then go to +2 in speed, and that will outspeed anything on his roster. Now, Tentacruel is the threat here. Tentacruel is the threat to Hitmonlee, so I need to make sure that that is gone beforehand. Close combat can really mess up a lot of mons here. It does a lot of damage to the Registeel, so if I can get some chip damage, that's going to be really good. Blaze Kick obviously hits the Virizion, it hits, so does Poison Jab, and it hits the Vikavolt for super effective damage. Do need to be careful of Noctowl, but a close combat is going to do a lot of damage to it. Tentacruel, as I said, I haven't got anything really for it, so I just try and close combat that if it's a thing that I do need to get it down low. Flygon, I do close combat, and I hope that I take it out again. I'm hoping for a little bit of chip damage before I bring Hitmonlee in. Rapidash as well. Not the best defenses, so I can't deal very well with them. Armaldo, Malamar, Seaking, you know. Malamar obviously neutral to a close combat, so we'll probably go for that. And the Seaking, again, close combat. I think close combat is 99% of my choice here. And if he does not bring Sticky Webs, which, you know, is obviously an option, then we do have the defense lowering from close combat to be able to hopefully live a hit and not get the -1s in our defenses, and then it will activate and speed us up. So that's something that I am really hoping is going to work. I've gone for the speed to outspeed a modest Gardevoir. So the speed calc I've got here, I cannot talk today, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. The speed calc I have got here is to outspeed a modest Gardevoir. And Poison Jab does take out Gardevoir unless it's really defensively invested. It has to be really defensively invested for it to be able to live any of those hits. And hopefully, again, I will have to, as I said, this will be a late game sweeper when I've got some chip damage gone. Same with Xurkitree, I'm hoping that either one of those will be my late game sweeper here. We've then got, next up, with the Ryperia. Ryperia is also going to be very helpful in this team. I have calced it to have enough defense so it comfortably lives a Earthquake from Flygon. And the Flygon, obviously, if it's +1 as well. Like, if it's a +1, I only take like 55%. I think that's the maximum. So, you know, weakness policy activates. I probably rock polish on that turn, and then I go for damage output because, you know, I could definitely go for ice punch on that turn because that would be very helpful. But he could definitely have like a Yachi berry or something. I think it's Yachi. Whatever the ice reducing berry is, it might not be Yachi, that might be electric, but whatever it is, he might have it on Flygon, so I do need to be cautious there. Although I haven't got any stab ice attacks, so, you know, he may not be as predicting on that. Earthquake does a lot here. Obviously, the Gardevoir does not want to take an Earthquake. Registeel, I think I 2-hit KO with Earthquake. Virizion, you know, Ice Punch is going to do a lot of damage, especially if I've got a weakness policy up. Vikavolt goes down to a Rock Blast. Noctowl, again, Rock Blast. Tentacruel, we go for Earthquake. Flygon, we got Ice Punch. Rapidash, Earthquake. Armaldo, probably going to be an Earthquake because strong stab. Malamar, again, we go for like an Earthquake in this scenario because it's our strongest stab move. And then Seeking, again, Earthquake. So hopefully I manage to get the weakness policy off. If I do get it off and I do get a Rock Polish off, then Ryperia can definitely have a chance of sweeping. There are a couple of mons, like the Virizion, can definitely outspeed the Ryperia, so I do need to be really, really cautious of that. But, you know, having one Rock Polish up is going to be very helpful, especially if he doesn't bring the Virizion. If he doesn't bring the Virizion, then the next fastest thing he has is the Rapidash, and Rapidash does not want to come in against the Ryperia. And honestly, I don't think the Rapidash would have the damage output to be able to really comfortably take me out with a high horsepower. So that's kind of my thought process there. I've got defense investment, got HP investment, got enough speed investment to outspeed a few different Pokemon on this team. There was a specific reason for me going for that speed, and I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it was to outspeed, it was to speed creep Armaldo. So speed creep Armaldo with 4 EVs, like +1. So I'm faster than Armaldo, +1 there. Yeah, that's the reason I had it. So if I come in against Armaldo, I then have the ability to like set up a Rock Polish potentially, because Armaldo might have Earthquake on it. It might have Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet would be really, really good actually, but it would definitely Aqua Jet upwards. So, you know, just got to think about these plays before I make them, and you know, it's Gold, so he's going to make some good plays. He's going to make some fantastic plays because that's just what Gold does. Final mon, and again, this one, not again, but this one is one that I am unsure on. I'm honestly unsure on. And me and T-Shen kind of debated this one, and we did decide ultimately it is probably for the best in this one. We've got Clang with Eviolite, so it does live hits quite comfortably. We've got Clear Body, so we're not going to have any stat lowering. Shift Gear, which is going to allow us to increase up our speed by 2 and our attack by 1. If I get 2 of those off, I am in a pretty good position. The gear grind here though, you know, Vikavolt can just sit there, same as Registeel, they can just sit there and just wall me, so, you know, that's annoying. We've got Toxic, which allows us to, obviously, Toxic any opponent. The Registeel, obviously, we're not going to be able to Toxic, but, you know, we can use Volt Switch on that to get out into a preferable Pokemon. I did very almost go for a minus speed nature to be able to take attacks and then go for Volt Switch, and I think that's actually what I'm going to quickly do before the match. I'm going to put this into a minus speed nature with 0 speed IV, so I take the attacks and then I can go into my next Pokemon and just actually no, I don't do that. I don't do that because the shift gear then is funny. But yeah, it's difficult. This is really difficult. But you know, hopefully the Clang set will work in some way. It's a really good way of dealing with Gardevoir as well. So, you know, we could see a Clang sweep at the end. Who knows? But yeah, I think my main mons here are my Hitmonlee and my Xurkitree in late game. Tauros is going to be really good early game. Kofagrigus is going to be a really good pivot. And Ryperia again actually is going to be a pretty decent pivot also. Same with Clang. So yeah, talk through many different scenarios and how to kind of deal with them. And, you know, we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best and see if we can win. Hopefully we do. If we don't, then that's no worries. Obviously, it's Gold. His team matchup compared to ours is absolutely fantastic. He's got a really nice, easy week. All he brings is Registeel and Flygon and causes me so many issues. Registeel, Flygon, Gardevoir, just, you know, that core is really solid. So it's just going to cause me so many problems here. So that's what I'm going to try and deal with. I think he brings Gardevoir, Registeel, Flygon, Vikavolt, I think comes. I think Tentacruel probably comes, although maybe not. And I think Armaldo could definitely come. Seeking, I think, actually will come over Tentacruel. So, yeah, I see Seeking over Tentacruel because that deals with the Circuitry much better. But yeah, that's going to be all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment down below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.